Hello everybody, so it's been what, like 10 days, maybe 2 weeks or so since my last video. A couple of reasons. One, been really busy doing stuff, but also there hasn't been loads to like show you. A lot's happened, but like not a load of like physical things, and because obviously this is a video, I want to show you stuff rather than just tell you things. Go on, what are you going to say?
Looking at the safety of assessing safety of if
I'm sat on the rotten bench that we inherited.
That bench next to you.
So you can see behind Sarah, the scaffolding is up, right? So things that have happened, there's been a lot of like inspection, which we failed. So the electrician came over to like test everything, definitely need rewiring. To be fair, these are things that we thought, we had a really thorough survey done when we were buying the house. And the surveyor said, I can't do anything invasive, so I can't like look behind things or lift floorboards up to check your plumbing or your electrics, but be mindful that it's an old property and it might be due. Both things are overdue. Go on.
Where we are, where we're lucky, I found out from our neighbours that the gentleman...
How nice are our neighbours, by the way?
I love them so much. We are lucky where the gentleman that owned this house before us sadly passed away. It was a probate house. He was a carpenter and he restored like ornate stairs in old buildings. So he knew the house. He knew these types of houses,
right.
And I think you can tell that. So like when the electrician went round, he said, I do have to rewire it because one floor is really bad, but some of the others, you can see that it's been loved. Like as we're stripping the paint, it's not layers and layers like that. You can tell he has cared about the house. So we have gotten lucky.
You can show your progress with the stairs in a bit.
Oh yeah.
So, update is, we definitely need rewiring, we definitely need replumbing. The scaffolding is going up, as you can see. More info, come on. I'll get to say my thing in a minute. Say yours first.
And I found out the other thing about someone that lived in the house.
Oh, we'll get to the gossip in a bit. Stay tuned. In fact, it is good gossip, but stay tuned for the gossip. So, wiring, plumbing, roof needs to be done sort of immediately. While the scaffolding is up, because the scaffolding actually is our single biggest expense. It's so expensive to put scaffolding up, particularly around the whole perimeter of the house and on every elevation. We're going to look into getting some of the render fixed as well, because there are patches of render which aren't in good condition. But of course, when you do that, you then need to repaint. We spoke to a builder and he went, now is the best time to do it if you've got the money, because otherwise you only have to re-scaffold down the line. So they're kind of the things that I can't do. They're all the skilled labour jobs that I can't sort of chip in with. From that point, I think there's a lot that I can do myself, so like tiling the bathrooms.
It's fun as well. Like,
I'm loving it. Yeah,
like it's fun. I've had so many lovely things on Instagram, and most people are really like loving it and enjoying it and get it. I have had a few people that have kind of said, like, how much money have you got? And then they don't understand when I said the other day that it's happening in phases, and they're like, what? Aren't you doing it all at once? And I think a property of this scale, that's really unusual, but also it's going to be our forever home, so you want to do it sensibly over time, get it the way you want, and also it's really fun.
Yeah, it is.
It's stressful, of course, but it's really fun.
I have to be honest, I'm not stressed or overwhelmed. I'm stressed and overwhelmed by the expense, like the money of it, I will be honest. But like I say, once we've done this load, the next thing that we'll have to sort of pay a bunch for will be the kitchen, right? But we're not doing that for a while. So I think everything else, I can learn a lot of the skills.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really happy to like. Look, we're so fortunate, I think, to kind of address that, not that I really have to because there was only a few people that said it, but I'm addressing it anyway, to address that, like, okay, we could make the budget that we've got really stretch and have a kitchen out of that and do some of the other jobs, but first, a house of this scale needs to be future-proofed, and when we looked around it with a builder, he really said, once you're getting that scaffolding up and sorting the roof, let's make it as warm and dry and future-proof so that we're not going to have ridiculous heating bills in the winter, so that's a really important job. And then I love to cook. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I love to cook. So I want a kitchen that really works for me. So I'd rather save and have that kitchen of my dreams, put it where I want, and take my time. And I'm challenging myself to cook as much as I can in my brother's air fryer.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to give it to me.
We can get an air fryer.
We'll get an air fryer.
Yeah, I think that's in our budget. I think I mentioned this in the last video. We're focusing downstairs, even though actually that's going to be the thing that we do last. But technically at the moment the building is 3 different properties, and that means we're paying 3 different loads of bills for everything. But in order to make it into one property, we need to show the council that it's all, you need to have internal access and no kitchens in there basically. So what I'm doing, follow me, is trying trying to strip everything right back because we have really bad damp down there too. Weirdly, although there's these 2 different flats, they're damp in different ways. So because these flats are lower ground floor basement, there will always be an element of damp because they are below ground level, right? So at the moment, what's happened down here is that they're trying to fix the damp in a way that is common but not right. And they've used a lot of like gypsum-based plaster board and things, which what that does is it soaks up water and doesn't let it back out again, so you end up with like horrible mold and stuff. I have all the safety gear. I've got a respirator mask, I've got goggles, I've got my safety shoes on. So if you remember the last video, the kitchen was here, this wall was in. I want to take this wall out, but to do that, I need to take the ceiling down because I will need to be sure it's not holding anything up. You also, in here, what should be here, sir? We have, underneath the subfloor, what I think is the original tiles, flagstones.
You don't know it's flagstones. It's so hard to see when
it's
it's so hard to see when it's dirty, isn't it?
It's not dirt. That's like bitumen. It's used to keep some of the damp out. So I need to get all that off and find out. But if I show you in this corner, is a really good example. Here we have all this horrible mouldy fungus damp stuff, right? Here on the brick, you don't. Brick breathes naturally. It lets the moisture in. It lets the moisture back out. The issue is where they put this gypsum-based plaster on. It lets the moisture in, but it doesn't let it back out again, so then you end up getting mold and fungus growing. So I think the plan for me is to take everything out, strip the ceiling down to find out what the timber's holding up. If the timber's not holding anything up, take the timber down, take the subfloor off, take it right back to brick, let it all breathe. Come around here, this is fun. I found in the wall, so I thought this was really old, and the building is really old, but I think this was re-rendered in order to try and fight damp in 2015. And I say that because I found newspaper that was used to sort of wad some of the wall out, and I found one of them with the date on it. I don't know which one it was, but it's 2015, which means this is only a decade old, some of this. You can see up here, there's a hole in the ceiling. That is where the staircase used to be, but it goes forward behind this wall into the other flat, which I shall show you next.
The house was built, I want to say about 200 years ago, and it was often used where this downstairs bit would have been servants' quarters. And if you look on the old census, you can see that it would say who lived in the building, and there was always like 4 or 5 always young girls, which is, when you think about it now in modern day terms, it's a bit creepy, but there was always young girls who would have been servants, housekeepers, nannies, and I believe all of this down here would have been their quarters.
Well, this is the bit that doesn't connect to the rest of the house. So we're going to have to put a doorway in between them.
Yeah, and we at one, I think I told you this, at one point for a long time, the head diocese, like the head of the church for the whole town we're in, he lived in this house.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Okay, we're in the front flat now with the music in the background. I was just saying to Jim, builders always have the best music. This is the Scaffolders. I think they've got Kiss 3 on. I always feel like it's such a vibe.
By the way, apologies for the sound, it'll be really echoey. My microphone's are somewhere in a box and I've got no idea where. Anyway, this is the other flat. So this wall behind us is actually the adjoining wall to the one I just showed you. Now it's damp down here too. What they've done, this is more modern, they've done it in a different way, where they've built internal walls with an air gap because damp can't jump. So this is breeze block, right? It's hollow. Behind that is the external wall, which is brick and which is damp. So what we need to do actually, I've taken the ceiling off in here to make sure that the breeze block walls aren't actually structural. And you haven't seen this yet. This is quite fun, look, it curves.
Oh wow, it'd be so interesting to see what's behind that.
But it's not structural, it's not holding anything up, so I can knock that down.
Yeah.
And see what the brick's like underneath.
Do let us know in the comments if this is actually interesting, because I'm aware Jim and I are, obviously to us it's our house, it's our project, this is so interesting to us, but I don't know if you'll be watching it going like, I don't really care about the damp and the people that lived there, but if it is, do let us know and we can talk about it more.
This is frustrating because you can see, right, there's another breeze block wall. And what's annoying about this is they've done it sort of quick and dirty, and they've actually built it onto the window. So this window, entirely rotten, like you can see here, right, this window needs to go, it needs to be replaced because it's just like knackered. But they've put the breeze block onto the window, so we can't take the window out and replace it without taking this stupid breeze block wall down. So again, I've taken the ceiling off, I've made sure it's not supporting anything, and actually you can see here, that's the beam up here, hopefully you can see that, and then there's a big here, which is the breeze block, which is holding nothing up. So, got to take that down, and through here, this is fun.
I've got my phone.
Can you? I've got my. Hang on. This is fun / horrible. Let me get the torch app on. There was a big sign on this hole saying "keep out," and I was like, "Fuck you! It's my house. I won't keep out if you tell me to." And I kind of wish I did, because you see all these sort of like white bits that are illuminated. They're all spiders that have since been eaten by mold and fungus. In here, I think, is our gas pipe. I think that's the gas pipe there. This is maybe water. There's more pipes there.
There's a lot of water out the front of the house.
Meanwhile, love of my life has been working on these stairs. Have become
my nemesis.
Your Everest, not nemesis, Everest. I think, because they're a challenge, but it'll be worth it.
What I am intrigued by, and I put my gloves on because I have tested it. It is all lead paint. So I know I've not got a mask on right now, but I'm kind of scraped back all the lead.
Just to confirm, we are wearing masks. We're just not wearing them while we film because you can't hear us and you can't see us. Promise you, we've got all the safety gear on when we need to have it on.
What would be actually interesting, because you never know if someone on the internet knows. So I've pulled all of this back and I've stripped this all. I've been using cling strip. And you can see this is all the original stone. Now I have been, sunglasses, washing this, and where it's kind of red in the corners here, I do not know how to get that clean, because there's some sort of like, maybe it's an oil base, I don't know if we kind of zoom in.
What have you tried?
Water and soap and something else, the stripper.
You should just try sugar soap. Have you tried that?
No, but it's kind of a, can't really see it now where it's kind of dry.
Yeah, I think it's like an oil base.
It's like oily and it has stained the whole thing. So
I think they'd use an oil primer.
I agree. Because as soon as it gets wet, you can see it just smears. For the rest of today, I'm gonna just, I think, heat gun these. What?
I just think it's brilliant. Like, Sarah, these stairs I did the stairs in our last house.
Are you still doing it?
Yeah, there were half the amount of stairs, and I don't think there was as much paint on them, and it took me weeks. And we get home at the end of every day, and Sarah goes, "Those bloody stairs, I feel like I've made no progress." Meanwhile, I'm pulling shit down, and like, you know what I mean? Like, you can see the results of what I'm doing. Whereas with Sarah, it's like, it is a labour of love.
Yeah, and also I'm kind of mostly still with the children at the moment, so I kind of do like an hour or two and then go back, which is why I'm using a lot of cling strip, because that means I can just put it down, leave and come back. So the children are with my mum and dad today. I think I'm going to finish off the next flight of stairs where I kind of put the cling strip over whatever this red gunk is.
I don't think you need...
It's a layer of paint and then the red gunk, so the cling strip on the top, and then I'm going to go get...
I'll get the kids later.
But I'm really glad. Unfortunately, I think this one, where you can see it, this is pine, and that's been replaced. You can't really see it underneath, maybe a little bit there. That's pine.
Right.
But most of these are still a really nice dark wood. I've realised I did not tell my story that I have teased about 3 times throughout this video. So, the other day, I had gone round to see our new neighbours. They're really lovely. They're a couple. They're kind of, I think they're probably in their 80s. They're so sweet, and I just went around and had a cup of tea and a chat with them, and they were talking about the area. They've lived here for 50 odd years, they know it really well, and they told me that we had a very interesting man. They weren't sure if he lived in our house or if his house kind of backed onto our house and our garden. Anyway, this man was a spy. The town where we live is quite popular with members of the Secret Service, and this gentleman lived here, I believe, in the 50s or 60s. Yeah, 50s, it would have been Cold War era, and he defected to the KGB, and he was one of the most prolific traitors to the UK government at the time. There's a whole Wikipedia page, loads of information about him, and he was a double crossing. And he was going to work, doing his UK spy stuff, and then meeting Russian or KGB spy members and double crossing, and it was fascinating.
Okay, need to go get the kids, so it's time to leave the house. This is the thing about like being a parent while renovating, is that you have to wait, drop the kids off, come back, start, and then you have to go and pick them up again. So you never get loads done. But you know, also this house is for the kids, so.
I think that's also why we want to move in sooner, because then we can do it like when they're napping and we
Yeah.
can get on with it. What colour do you think we're gonna go?
I thought we'd already decided, hadn't
Is
we?
it green?
Yeah.
Like
we
the
had
house over the road?
We had quite a big discussion about it, and you were like, you led the discussion. All right. Well, thanks very much for watching, everybody. See you very soon. Bye.